Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Sure will.
All right. So I guess I'll start with Mr. Chopper. Like, what do you do to keep tabs on everybody to hold them accountable if you believe what gets measured improves?
Well, we have a minimum standard, and Patrick does one-on-ones with them every other week. Plus, we have our team meetings. We don't have it as well documented, I mean, we have it documented, but it's not 24/7 like Glenn has it.
Okay.
But we're hoping with this AI to help us that we're gonna bring it to the next level. By the way, Rob, do you know when that last Tuesday's meeting will be available?
It should be available now. I can send it to you.
Would you please? I want to get that to the team because a couple of team members weren't around and I want them up to speed for tomorrow's meeting.
You got it.
I'd like that as well. Not
I'll
my
send it.
entire.
I'll send it to everybody on this call.
Awesome. Okay, good.
Appreciate it.
And just give me a second. I'll make sure I get to everybody who's on here. Who's nice guy's iPhone if you want the recording from the AI?
I saw that.
Who's nice guy's iPhone? Going once, going twice, no recording for the nice guy. And Danielle, how about you?
I'm pretty much the same as Chopper. So we have a weekly meeting, an in-person weekly meeting, and then it's, just like a weekly check-in individually with the agents. I know pretty quickly, who's what's going on with each agent, and if there is nothing going on, that's quite obvious too. I don't have some big formal spreadsheet or system other than looking at the numbers and having the conversation of, what are you working on as far as listings and buyers, what's under contract, what's about to close, and lead follow-up is a big part of it too.
So, and what type of administrative support do you have? Do you still have Kate that helps you out?
I do, but Kate's kind of transitioning out. She's only like working 1 day a week, so I just hired someone new. I mean, I definitely need and would like a little more of a formal system, but nothing like too overwhelming. Something more simple, like, kind of things that we've talked about or we've put out before. How many appointments have you, went on this week? How many phone calls have you made? Some type of simple tracker.
Okay. Would that be something that you think I'm going to be bold and say either like an AI resource could reach out and grab that, like, have them fill out a survey or a virtual? And if so, then we just need to figure out what those metrics that we are. And it would be nice if you had a little chart to see how that went.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think the conversations are really important because I could tell you even myself, if I just get this tracker in and I'm like filling out numbers, it's not the same as having a conversation about those numbers with the agent. Like, really, you had this many appointments this week? What happened? It's so yes, the tracker I think will be helpful to start the conversation.
Okay. I will come up with a series of questions, probably similar to that link I gave out a while back about, how many calls, prospecting, whatever, and we can thumbs up or thumbs down or edit it next week. This trackable and measurable.
Yes, I'm definitely open to any suggestions.
Lynn, how about you? I'll see it firsthand somewhat tomorrow.
Yeah, I can show you tomorrow. Similar to Danielle, we do a weekly in-person meeting where we go over everything in a broader scope. And then I do a bi-weekly one-on-one with each team member. Each morning I send out a text, there's something motivational and then some type of expectation in there. We do a weekly prospecting sheet. And that came from one of these masterminds before where we talked about accountability is love. So every Friday I get a sheet from each team member about what they've done, and then we discuss it during our bi-weekly meetings.
What's the participation rate on that? 100% or 80?
100%, 100% or they're not on the team.
Very good. Now,
Then we keep a spreadsheet.
it's interesting, like Alina and Dan have very different personalities.
Oh, do they?
I guess that's like opposites attract, huh?
Polar opposites attract. Yeah. And you got to see them.
Yes.
They're good people. They're both hard workers differently. And then we've kind of helped them team up a little bit in their own community because we were kind of making that Dan's farm area, but she's so much more social that we created a social aspect of their marketing, and they're doing that together.
Yeah, I think the one of the missions for us as team leaders should be that your income's not dependent upon the market. Okay. I mean, I totally embrace that, and I can take that to the bank every time. Is, you know, the activities, the mindset, you know, your ability to learn, right? And I don't mean like learn textbook stuff that you need for your license. I mean to learn practical techniques that can help you serve your clients better by getting them to understand things, you know, quicker without losing the business, right? Those are all the things that we need to do. The discipline to run your business by a calendar, to focus on the things that are going to bring you success in the future. So if we can kind of put that out in the ether when we go around our team, that, you know, the market is not controlling our income. And Danielle, by the way, like what's Darren is on fire, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. He was part-time. I mean, he was a good part-time agent, but he was part-time for a couple of years. And, you know, it's been the last year that he's, you know, full-time, and he's very, I don't know he worked for HP and he taught some classes. Like he just does a lot on the web. He's kind of like a Glenn Baker behind the scenes with, you know, I want to say like geeky into technology, but he's very, very, very good with the clients as well. So
where did he work before he retired?
He worked for Hewlett Packard.
Okay.
So he does a lot with like websites and squeeze pages. And I mean, he does things that kind of go over my head sometimes, and he's very, really like good with lead follow-up. He will exhaust the lead like I've never seen until it's, you know, either good or dead.
Awesome. I just wanted to, I think if you've seen a handful of text messages, I think once or twice I might have had to text him and say, oops, here's another one.
Yeah.
Day. So congrats to him. And he's an example of the market's not controlling, you know, his destiny. I mean, there's lack of inventory, he's getting listings, right? Lack of inventory, he's getting the buyer sides accepted. So congrats to him. Beth, in celebration, you have a lot of people to keep tabs on. Do they report regularly, or is it team meeting or office meetings? How do you kind of manage that?
Well, I will preface it to say that it's a work in progress, and I am constantly looking to improve, and I am enjoying hearing what other people do. But what we do is we do have a monthly sales meeting, and we do have floor time so that I see most of the agents at least once a week, and I have a conversation with them to check in on how they're doing. But
everybody's going to be jealous. People actually walk into Beth's office. It's like in a fantasy place called Celebration, Florida, and you get what, like 2 or 3 walk-ins a week, or?
Yeah, we call it a slot machine because you don't know when it's going to happen. But if someone walks in, they're typically a little more serious than someone who comes to an open house. And sometimes they're rentals, you know, they're looking for a rental, but a lot of times they're not. So, and it's part of my recruiting pitch also, is we do about $10 million a year in walk-in business. So anyway, I also offer accountability coaching to the agents, but I don't make them do it, good, bad, or are indifferent, I don't. So I offer it. So about 50% of the agents, do it. We also continued the Path to Platinum Friday get-togethers, but I'll be honest, it dwindled off and it was a lot of work to make it happen. And it was kind of all on me, and I felt like I wanted it more than they did. And so we haven't done it for a couple of weeks. So anyway, that's what we're doing. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on, I go into Bold Trail pretty regularly, and that does tell a pretty good story with the agents. You can see when they logged in and what they're doing and if they're following up and so forth. But that's it. But I'm obviously I'm impressed with Lynn and with Danielle and what you're doing with your teams. And it's tough to move, I think, from a culture where they really were not required to making it more of a requirement, let me say.
Don't forget Chopper and Patrick. They're up
Chopper
there
and
in the
Patrick as
echelon as
well.
well.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I didn't really join late, but maybe you started a little early.
Chopper chopped first. One thing that I've observed is a lot harder to get people to come to in-person meetings. And I think, Zoom meetings are hard to get the same impact because you lose part of the relationship when they're not in person. I think, Lynn, you're in person once a week or twice a month?
We're in person as a whole team once a week,
Once
and
a
we
week.
are every other week, one-on-one in person.
And Chopper or Danielle, what's your, Danielle, you have some part-time people, right?
Yeah.
So do you get together as a team once a month, once every other week, as needed?
So I will do, I'll do in person, and it's like kind of my office hours for them to help them to be there, one-on-one. But I will also do a Zoom, just to get everybody in there in case somebody can't make it. But they know they're required to come in, so we do like Zoom in person at the same time. So it's a Zoom, but it's in person. But it's a Zoom for some reason if someone's like in the car or away or doing whatever they're doing.
Wonderful. And how about Patrick or Chopper?
Pat, you want to go ahead?
Pat,
think
Pat,
Yeah, good morning, guys. How's everyone doing today?
great.
So I agree with you, Rob. I think it's getting more and more challenging to get people to attend things in person. That's why I think what Glenn is doing is such a nice change for everybody because one, he's opening up the keys to his kingdom for us, and two, he's making it accessible for everybody. Where if you can't attend on that Tuesday, at least it'll be recorded. You can watch it another time. I mean, I'm going to make our entire team attend Glenn's presentation over the next 9 weeks, and they're going to have to text me 2 things that they learned after each presentation. So whether they watch it in person or they watch the recording, I want to know what they learned after, and they're going to have to text me so I know that they at least watched it.
Sad that you have to do that, but kudos to you.
Last week we flew our admin in from Colombia. Plus you got to go see Shakira.
Okay.
So it was good that we were all together, and Pat and I were like, we got to do this at least once a quarter, just get around the table and break bread. Our little team office, most of the team members show up during the week, but to your question, since COVID, we do all our team meetings on Zoom. And then Pat does the one-on-ones on Zoom, but there's definitely a difference in person. It builds up the camaraderie. I like that more and more of our team members are coming to the office. They feed off of each other's calls. They help each other. So.
And Lynn, when you do your weekly meeting, are you very structured so that you get the attendance, or do you?
It's funny. I tried to switch it to be a Zoom meeting because I thought it would be easier. And we have a couple that, as you know, have another job, so they sometimes Zoom in to join us. But my people actually requested it be in person. They felt like they had a little more camaraderie and they could kind of throw things off each other. So
And-
I go in with an agenda, and the first part of the meeting is very structured, and then we open it up so they can just mastermind with each other.
Okay. And then, is your agenda similar every week with just updates and different?
There's
Topics
usually
or-
something to learn, or there's somebody coming in to speak to us, or we're going over maybe new rules and or verbiage in a contract. It's different every week, unless we're on a topic like role play that, you know, maybe we were talking about listing appointments, and then we carried it over. But in general, it's something different every week.
Okay, great. Bobby, I know we have struggles getting people to show up, right?
I'm listening to everybody, and it's a little comforting to know that I'm having the same problem that everybody else has. But I'm at a very frustrating point in the office. Our agents are doing well. They're happy based on the conversations I have with them. But to get them to come to a meeting, like we're having a one-on-one today, it was a miracle to schedule it. So to get people come in on one-on-ones, I like Chopper's idea. Get together quarterly. We're trying to plan events. We get very, very tepid response, and it, it's when you find, you ask the question, is there a reason why you couldn't make it? Oh, I had the grandkids. Oh, I had to work that day. So we're trying to do things at night. We're trying to do things during the day. We're trying to figure out a way to get the office together. Bobby Durso and I don't want to say we're dinosaurs, but just the way we were brought up. And we all agree that things are much better in person. But to get our agents to show up at the office is very difficult and very frustrating for me.
Rob, can I just share something? Bobby, I don't know if this will help you or not, but I was having trouble with the one-on-ones getting anybody to be available. So I took them outside the office. So what I do is the week before our one-on-ones, there's 6 people that I meet with one-on-one, and I don't have a very large team. I pick 6 different events the following week. It might be coffee at Starbucks on a Monday at 8 a.m. It might be a walk through Wakadahachi Park at noon on Tuesday. I pick events and I send it out, and I tell everybody to pick their event for the one-on-one. So we do it kind of in a more casual setting that's not making them go to the office.
Lynn, right, here's a reason, everybody, why this meeting is so important. That is an excellent idea, Lynn. We have 2 locations. While you were talking, I got 2 locations in my head where I can get people out of the office, meet with them, and have the one-on-one. So thank you so much. It's a great
Oh,
suggestion.
you're welcome. And that one we do without an agenda. It's about what I can do for them, what they need to improve on. It's just more personal.
Okay, that's a great.
Good luck. Hope that helps.
Thank you.
Okay. Guy, welcome back. You must be Nice Guy's iPhone.
Yes, that's me.
Okay.
Sorry, I just dropped off my daughter at school.
No worries. See, look you dropped your daughter off. You were on. You came back. Like that's what we need to see from our team members. To be honest with you, we need to see that level of commitment. How is your new team member doing, Guy?
She's doing good, working hard. We're trying to refine the way we work and trial and error, but we're improving. And yeah, so far so good.
Wonderful.
Perseverance will pay off.
Yep. No, I mean, I'm very optimistic. She's a very bright candidate, so I hope she does fantastic.
Yeah, me too.
Mr. Gopi,
Hey Rob, how are you?
I'm doing well. Are you getting back into the swing of things now?
Yeah, since January 2nd, it's been a really crazy year for me. But I appreciate the support that you call me frequently, and thanks for everything. So the second half of this year, I'm excited, truly excited to be back full-time working and motivating the team.
So, Mike, who's your rock stars, and do they show up every team meeting you have?
Yeah, so I would say Jenny Chase is on fire. Barbara Nicholson is very loyal. She's on fire too. Those 2, very consistent.
Very, very good. And your projects are, Frank's got a lot of talent. You got to get him turning the corner. But they do show up, right? For the most part.
Yeah, they show up. I actually did something a little different. I take them out on meetings too. So like the other day we got Viet soup pho. I don't know if anybody's ever ate that. It's really good. So I take them in different events to motivate them so they can have fun. We can talk business. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of outside the office meetings like that
And,
with the
and
team. They show up.
Michael, are your team members making in-network referrals, or are they mostly coming from you to Jersey?
So that's a great thing you brought up. So we're doing a lot of referrals in different states actually. So I told my teammates to call everybody they know. So one of them used to live in Michigan, another one in Chicago. I used to live in New York. So every family member or friend that I let them know before they buy or sell just to call us first. So I was able to get that referral in New Jersey, and I got actually 3 listings in New York right now. 700,000 listings in Queens, just from me telling the client to call me first. And I just found the best agent in Queens. So we're getting a lot of referrals from all over the country, actually. It's the easiest 25% you can make. Truly.
So, and Michael, this is where I think like the reticular activator system comes into play. Is I actually had to go get my fingerprints done again for our Arizona title company. Okay. And to get it done promptly, I had to go to Staten Island, and the place I drove past the Remax in Staten Island, I just walked in there and introduced myself. And within 24 hours, I got a referral for a buyer in Westfield because he's like, oh, you know what? I'm so glad you stopped by. Do you have a good agent for a buyer in Westfield selling their house in Staten Island? And I'm like, that's, you can say that's coincidence, but I think it's coincidence and being put in the right place at the right time, right? Like being top of mind. So, everybody that's in Florida and New Jersey, there's that, referral, system going back and forth. And even in, the same state in different areas, you can get referrals back and forth. Okay. I mean, a lot of people in Staten Island are also licensed in New Jersey, but they don't want to cover it. And I didn't even have a motive when I went in there. I just said hi, to the 2 owners, and, the next day there's a referral coming in. So if we can take that from Mike's page and maybe have your team members join the mastermind, connect with somebody up here in New Jersey, be their go-to person, right? Somebody that you can relate to.
Love that.
Right? And then Sophia, how are you? I think you're still on mute. I don't think we can hear you.
I'm here. Sorry.
Wonderful. So Sophia is changing locations, right? It's exciting.
Yep.
And you want to just give everybody a little bit of insight what's going on with you?
In terms of the change, you mean, or just
Yeah, you changed.
life? Oh, yeah, exciting. Leaving Newark and coming to assist Sedona in Secaucus. And I also have offered to help her with Hoboken because that was my old stomping grounds.
So do you live in Bergen County?
I do. I live in Rutherford.
So like Bergen County, Hudson County,
Mhm.
there's your go-to girl. And
Yep.
if she can't do it, she'll find somebody.
Also Essex County, I do a lot in.
And Essex, she's like a Swiss Army knife. Does everything.
Thanks, Rob.
That's a high compliment. Swiss Army knife's pretty cool. You can do everything.
Yes, I said thank you. Sorry, my allergies are terrible today. So
No worries. So Glenn, everybody was begging for a recording of your training on Tuesday, which I'm going to forward to them all. Just FYI,
Cool.
you're a big hit.
Yeah, wait till this.
What do you have up in your sleeve this week?
So it's going to start off with a little bit of Bold Trail. They don't have a ton of AI in there, but then I'm going to take it right out to ChatGPT and explain to people how they can create effective marketing using it that doesn't sound like generic garbage that everyone's pumping out right now.
Yep. So the gong.
Rob,
looks
I
like-
got to just tell you a quick one on the AI front. So I tend to use it about 2.5 to 3 hours a day, and I loaded in all of my winning offers for the last 1 month, and then I loaded in an offer I was making, and I asked it to tell me from an estate sale buyer's perspective how would they receive the offer, and compare it against the other offers I have to see what I had to make modifications for. It gave me the modifications, and I won the deal.
Now, Glenn, that sounds very complex. Like, how long does it take you to train it to do that?
That one took me about 15 minutes.
Okay, and somebody who's not super techy, a half hour, 40 minutes?
I bet you if they were just to talk to it, they could probably talk their way through it. For 3 hours last night, I talked to AI on the way home and drove my wife crazy from Maryland as I was talking to it, doing research on all of my competitors.
So that is pretty cool. The example with Jackie Score you gave, right?
Yeah, I mean, how cool was that? I didn't know half of the things that she did and how she embedded herself so well. It's wild.
So you can use AI to spy on your competitors, get an advantage if you're competing with them, and maybe to borrow some of their good ideas, right?
Yeah, and you know, the key that people do is they ask the question as though it's them. Ask the question like you're the client. If I was a client buying a house in Boonton, New Jersey, who would I use and why would I use them? Don't say what's the best agent in Boonton. That's nonsense, right? But you look at it from everything's from the client's perspective. When you turn AI around to use that, it is super powerful.
So Dominic, you want to introduce yourself and tell the last minute we have what you're going to be doing with us?
Hi everyone. So yeah, my name's Dominic. I'm gonna be recruiting and at the same time talking to the leads for the company. So I'm not really have a very clear picture of the task, but as to my knowledge, it'll be contacting agents as well as sellers of properties. So that's going to be my task moving forward.
Well, welcome to the Select family. The team leaders, we're going to be doing a Zillow meeting here right at 9. So Carmelo will probably be on in just a moment, but please don't miss the Tuesday training, the AI training with Glenn, and I will get everybody on the team front the recording from last week's session. All right, and I'll see you all next week. I'll have the list of trackable and measurable for our approval, and then we'll figure out a way to get that completed periodically. All right.
Thank you. See you
Team
tomorrow,
leaders, thank you
Rob.
very
Thanks,
much. Yep.
Rob.
See you
Have a good
soon.
week,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Good one.
Bye, team
Bye-bye.
leaders.
Bye.